There was a knock at the door. "Your goats are up on Sugarloaf." Third time in 3 weeks. I turned and glanced out the window. No, all of my goats are in the backyard, in their pen. Apparently somebody's goats were up on Sugarloaf, and if they weren't going to go get them, well, I'd been thinking about adding to my small herd, so the next Sunday morning, took a couple of collars and leashes and a bag of goat grain, and I headed up the Sugarloaf Trail. Goats are always going to seek high ground, especially rocky ledges, like up on Sugarloaf. So I got up the trail, along the ledges, I'm peering over. It didn't take me long to find them. And I opened that bag of grain and I let that molasses aroma waft over the air. They looked up. They saw me. They gave me that quizzical goat look. They smelled that grain and they came toward me. And it suddenly occurred to me, how am I going to collar, catch, leash two goats at the same time? And just then, a hiker came along the trail. Young guy, looked like a UMass student. I said, "Hey." I told him what I was up to. "Could you help me out?" "Sure." Soon enough, those two were up off the ledges, and they're eating out of our hands. I said, "Okay, I'm going to count to 3. And right on 3, you're going to grab your goat by one of its horns. I'm going to grab my goat. You got that? Yeah? I mean, lightning fast and hang on tight because these goats are going to go crazy, okay? Okay. 1, 2, 3. He grabbed his goat, I grabbed my goat, his goat got away. Damn it. I collared and leashed my goat, I gave it to my assistant. Now the other goat did not take off. Goats stick together. They want to be together, they're herd animals. So she just backed up 10 or 12 feet, assessing her options. And I got out the bag of goat grain, and goats cannot resist grain, and she came over a little too close to me, and I pounced. I got her and collared and leashed her, and we headed down the trail. Now, these goats were not happy. They are bucking like bronchos, and I'm dragging my goat, and my assistant is getting increasingly anxious. "I don't know. I'm gonna hurt this goat." "You're not gonna hurt the goat. Let's go. Just drag that goat. Come on." I can't. Give me that leash." When I got the two of them together, they calmed right down. Goats like to be together. We walked down the trail, up the road to my house. I put them in the pen with my other goats, and they lived happily ever after. Until many months later, I came home, they were gone. They took off, and you know where they went. So the next Sunday, the leashes, the grain, up the trail, over the ledges, there they are. They were having none of it this time. Oh, they were a little tempted, but I couldn't coax them close enough, and I went home. In the spring, I got 3 baby goats. My daughter Frankie called me at work one day. She said, "Dad, there's 2 goats standing at the door of the goat pen like they want to go in." "Really? What color are they?" "White." "They're back." "Let them in. I'll be home in a couple hours." She calls back. She says, "Dad, these goats are really beating up on the babies." "No, they're just doing their goat hierarchy thing. Don't worry, things will settle down." She calls back again. "Dad, they have one of the babies pinned in the corner of the pen, and they are pummeling it. This goat's going to be dead." "Okay, lock the babies in the shed, or vice versa. I'll be home in a couple hours." I get home. These 2 are now twice the size of when they left. They're like St. Bernards. This is not going to work. I put an ad on Craigslist, "Free to a good home," and my phone number. The first voice message was from a very cheerful gentleman, told me he'd be right over to get those goats, and I'm pretty sure from his lilting accent he was Jamaican. And while I was pretty eager to get rid of these goats, goat stew was not what I had in mind for them. The next call was Shelley at North Hadley Sugar Shack. I called back. "Shelley, how about Sunday morning you come over, maybe bring me a couple of quarts of syrup and add these goats to your burgeoning barnyard." So if you're at North Hadley Sugar Shack and there's a couple of large, white, ornery goats, let them know I don't miss them. Well, maybe a little.